Thank you very much. I do also want to speak about the same thing that you did. I want to say kudos to Mayor Abby Brennan from Tequesta, who I understand organized that event that you're talking about, which was a workshop. I know not a lot of new information was given. However, there were a lot of people there that had not received any information. So even though it was not new to us, it was new to a lot of members of our public. And although the newspaper is still discussing or starting to discuss All Aboard Florida, that workshop that was organized last night was very important to a lot of residents in the North End because it brought up a lot of points. I also want to thank Kim, who came out and she did an excellent job of really updating the public, also giving very unbiased information. I think a lot of people think that elected officials have voted on this. This is not something that we initiated, and I think she made that point very clearly, which was an important point to bring up. But in addition to that, there were a lot of questions that the Treasure Coast has brought up in the memo. Not to belabor what you're talking about, but I'm in agreement with those questions. We talked about it at the last Treasure Coast meeting. We talked about increasing the response period at the last meeting, which I think was important, and I'm in favor of that. However, we do have a lot of questions, and we need some information, so I appreciate that. And there was another point that was brought up, and I think Kim had mentioned it. If you read between, she didn't say this, but I'm saying this, if you read between the lines of what everyone is saying, and I think Commissioner Solero had brought this up in addition, which is DOT is not requiring what the FRA is for high-speed trains. And understandably so, we haven't had high-speed trains going 175 to 110 miles an hour through many of our municipalities. So there wasn't a requirement or to build such infrastructure for safety. So that's one thing that I absolutely agree with, which is something that can be done, which is to ask DOT to require the safety recommendations that the FRA is speaking up for the high-speed trains, because that, making it a requirement, not a recommendation, would then require the FECI to put in that infrastructure for safety throughout many of our municipalities, which is very needed. It's not the only thing, but that is one thing that would be very helpful. And so, again, I know we're going to be discussing it in the near future, but I would recommend the addition of, I guess, item number 1 and item number 3, because that is something that I think would benefit all.